Ingia pembeni kule Paulo Chuoga. Leta cross kwa Sharif Musa. Gidio! Gidio Benje Kamololi ya Mopao. Batoto Bakongo. Banaleta raha ndani ya Kogalo. Banachezesha watu rumba. Na ni rumba tamu kweli kweli. Gidio Benje Kamololi ya Mopao. Kamololia. Super sub mwingine Paulo Chuoga. Akamtafuta alikuwa anaenda wapi Big Sente Otieno. Gidio Benjeka akatumia gula kila kushoto. Cross yake Paulo Chuoga kulia kule. Akaimimina ndani. Akakutana nao akakosa Sharif Musa. Mpira wa pili ukamkuta Gidio Benjeka Mololi ya Mopao. Mzee wa ambisio. Batoto Bakongo banaleta raha ndani ya Kogalo. Kogalo goli moja. Salute na sambaza upendo Lazarazu bila kupoteza muda ameicheza ya kwanza. Felix Oluoch Mboya. Felix Oluoch Mboya alianza Big Sente goal kikile akakosa Alphonse Omija. Baada hapo Felix Oluoch Mboya akamakinika kwa ubora kabisa. Touch ya kwanza bora yake Felix Oluoch Mboya akampoteza kipa yule Kevin Omondi. Gula dhahabu, gula kushoto, kitu kikajaa ndani ya kamba zile. Kwa amechelewa kuruka tu. Baada hapo akawajaza Mboya. Akasema size yangu nyinyi. Big Sente Otieno anaparaza kwa kichwa na kataa bado. Anaondosha mfungaji wa goli Felix Oluoch Mboya. Christopher Ochieng. Brian Marita bado anapambana kule Kogalo. Ado! Alphonse Omija amefuta makosa yake kabisa. Dakika za jioni hizi, dakika za lala salama, haijaisha mpaka ishe. Wenda mwapa alama zote tatu kwa Omija. Akaeka kitu ndani ya kamba. Dakika za lala salama kabisa. Dakika za kuku kurudi banjani hizi. Dakika za ng'ombe kurudi zizini. Baishie sare lakini alikataa Alphonse Omija. Ustadh Mkatoliki. Ingia pembeni kule Paulo Chuoga. Leta cross kwa Sharif Musa. Gidio! Gidio Benje Kamololi ya Mopao. Batoto Bakongo banaleta raha ndani ya Kogalo. Banachezesha watu rumba. Na ni rumba tamu kweli kweli. Gidio Benje Kamololi ya Mopao. Kamololia. Super sub mwingine Paulo Chuoga. Akamtafuta alikuwa anaenda wapi Big Sente Otieno. Gidio Benjeka akatumia gula kila kushoto. Cross yake Paulo Chuoga kulia kule. Akaimimina ndani. Akakutana nao akakosa Sharif Musa. Mpira wa pili ukamkuta Gidio Benjeka Mololi ya Mopao. Mzee wa ambisio. Batoto Bakongo banaleta raha ndani ya Kogalo. Kogalo goli moja. Salute na sambaza upendo Lazarazu bila kupoteza muda ameicheza ya kwanza. Felix Oluoch Mboya. Felix Oluoch Mboya alianza Big Sente goal kikile akakosa Alphonse Omija. Baada hapo Felix Oluoch Mboya akamakinika kwa ubora kabisa. Touch ya kwanza bora yake Felix Oluoch Mboya akampoteza kipa yule Kevin Omondi. Gula dhahabu, gula kushoto, kitu kikajaa ndani ya kamba zile. alikuwa amechelewa kuruka tu. Baada hapo akawajaza Mboya, akasema size yangu nyinyi. Vincent Otieno anaparaza kwa kichwa na kataa, bado anaondosha mfungaji wa goli Felix Oluoch Mboya. Christopher Ochieng, Brian Marita bado anapambana kule Kogalo. Amefuta makosa yake kabisa. Dakika za jioni hizi, dakika za lala salama, haijaisha mpaka ishe. Wenda mwapa alama zote tatu kwa Gamija, akaweka kitu ndani ya kamba. Dakika za lala salama kabisa, dakika za kuku kurudi banjani hizi, dakika za ng'ombe kurudi zizini. Baishie sare, lakini alikataa Alfonso Mija, Ustadh Mkatoliki.
A very good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Sports Check on this first Monday of February 2025. It is the third day, and one of the stories that we're going to be looking at is where the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy, the Honorable William Kavugo, and the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Broadcast and Telecommunications, Professor Edward Kisiangani, will be meeting with the heads of departments and of the State Department, the various departments, and they're going to be giving comprehensive briefs detailing the work of their departments to the CS and the PS. That is just one of the stories that we're going to be looking at. And remember, so much to follow around. There is those happening in the courts. And remember, even after the retreat in Naivasha, the parliamentarians are back to the city and they're doing committee work. And we have got the National Assembly on, this is the National Assembly's Departmental Committee on Health, and it is going to be holding a consultative meeting with the Presidential Task Force on addressing human resources for health, and the discussion will focus on policy, recruitment and deployment of healthcare professionals across the national and county governments. And also the Public Accounts Committee sittings resume this week. And today, the State Department for Water is appearing at this time, and the Teachers Service Commission will be appearing at 2 p.m. So those just three of the main items that we'll be looking at. And remember, also we've got the court, and everyone within the region is focused on what's happening in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. A lot of conversations involving the Southern Africa Development Corporation, SADC, and also the East Africa community to ensure that there is a solution that is found to the crisis in Eastern DRC. So part of the stories that we are going to be keeping tabs on within our docket. And as we welcome you, our sign language interpreter within is Wangeshi, and she's going to be with us till 11 o'clock. Two conversations that we're going to be having today, besides the matters that we are looking at from the field. We shall be talking about a university that is focused on planting 10 million trees, and to encourage people to do that, they also want you to run 10 million trees. Remember, there is a 15 billion target by 2032 that has been set by the state. This is just a portion of it, and what can be done to ensure that this happens. The other conversation, and this is the first one that we are going to have as we wait for our young athletes, the future of the country. We're going to be talking about judo, and over the weekend the Judo Federation of Kenya did have one of their league events, and this was at the Maasai Technical Institute, and that was in Kajiado County. And a lot has got to be said. What can we pick? What are the lessons that have been picked up there, and what needs to be done to improve the caliber of athletes who are competing in that event? So that's what we're going to be taking a look at when we have this conversation. And in studio with me on my immediate left is the Deputy Secretary General, Judo Kenya, Kennedy Kwethia. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also, the Judo Federation of Kenya, they've engaged together with the International Judo Federation to bring in a national coach, lift the standards of the game. And we've got Yusuke Utashiro. Yusuke-san.
Yes.
Arigato.
Arigato.
No, arigato is...
yes, arigato
is
thank
no,
you.
actually, it's thank you, but konnichiwa.
Yes, exactly. Konnichiwa.
No, I have that right. I'm sure when Rally comes, I'll be able to speak with Takamoto Katsuta very well now. And also, we've got his assistant, Lawrence Karisa.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. So, Lawrence, let me start with you. And in Kajiado County over the weekend, we saw that you held that league event. And this is how, within the local scene, judokas do build up their points. What were some of the take-homes for you from the athletes who competed in the various weight divisions?
Yeah, we have teams from different counties. They came to Kajiado, we were hosting. And they did very well. It was a very good competition. We have seen judo is improving in Kenya. Mm-hmm. Young athletes are upcomings. They're doing very well in judo.
Yeah, so looking at it, what were some of the things that, some of the athletes who stood out for you, whose improvement you have seen, and those you can see have been consistent even as they compete?
That's what I'm saying. With the young athletes, we are trying to choose some of them, those who are the best, with my fellow coach Yusuke here, so that we can build a team Kenya to represent the country.
Okay, let me come to you, Yusuke-san. Being called up by the, with the IJF, you come in here now, you're playing the role of the national team coach. What were some of the things that, things that you would like to impart on Kenyan judokas? What the lessons that you'd want to give to the judokas in Kenya?
In Kenya, yes, I came from Japan, and yes, at first I came here and saw the Kenyan judo. Yeah, there are many teams, and my team came from many clubs, so they have already good potentials. So just I'm enjoying to improve them. So it's not difficult. They have basics. So just I support them and just teach the new patterns of techniques. Only that. Yeah.
We'll be coming to the techniques because I know that's where Lawrence and Yusuke will come in very strongly. But let me come to you, Kennedy, now. Just giving us a wrap, from 2024. A very big conversation with Zedi Cherotich, having qualified for the Olympics. Actually, right, I think about, it was a universality thing that was given in late June, which means that within a week, everything had to be cleared for her, and she was competing. And it was a very brief flight, 20-25 seconds or so. But what were the lessons learned throughout that qualifying process to the Olympics? Because that's where I would like to start for the KJF.
Yes, one of the main lessons that we learned was early preparation. Early preparation is very key for us as Kenya Judo Federation, especially when we are aiming for the Olympics. Zedi, she did her best. We applauded her. It was an honor for us to have one of our Olympians from judo participate, and we normally call it the 25 seconds of success, where we know that it's not that easy for us to participate in the Olympics. But looking forward, we are looking at preparing ourselves much better, especially with the oncoming Youth Olympics 2026 and 2028 LA Olympics.
And as a build-up, we also have to look back and what are the improvements that you may have seen when we talk about the novices and rather the cadets and junior championships that Kenya hosted 2.5 years back here now?
Well, some of the improvements we've had is especially with the new coach. He's coming with a lot of expertise in terms of technical expertise and bringing in new skills. And if we were to compare 2022 and right now, we would say that even as we have been participating in the Continental Games, we've been doing very well. We were in Dakar, Senegal in December, whereby we got 2 silvers and 3 bronze. And 2 weeks ago, we were in Casablanca, whereby we came back with a gold medal and a bronze medal. And that's been something that we've not been able to achieve over a couple of years, 7 years for gold. So we can see quite a bit of improvements. There's a change in the junior and cadets and also the seniors that we have.
And Casablanca, when you, I know you were keeping along with Casablanca. Suke-san, what was it that you saw from the domestic scene and also for Kenyan athletes? And this is the youngsters.
Yes.
This was age grade competition. What is it that you saw and improved? Because we know judo in Africa is dominated. You will find it either Cameroon. I'll also mention I think Cote d'Ivoire, and then Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia.
Yes. So.
Yeah. So what is it that you saw that could be done better by the in Casablanca?
Yeah, I say it. So basically, they already have the basics because the Kenya, many local coach improved them. So they have already basics, and especially I want them to only eager. They have to eager to be strong. That spirit is the most important, and they already have. So it's not difficult to improve for me. So just we gather, and especially I give them the practical training, like the real games. So because they in several teams, so they don't have same level as the rival in them team, and they don't have the enough space to do practical session every day. So but I can gather them my place, and we can use big place, and we can gather high-level athletes. So I practice. I give them the practical session. We said it laundry, and I practice with them. All athletes, the same as me, the adults, seniors also, the cadets also. I practice with them, and I teach the techniques, and I remake the techniques. So I improve them like that.
Well, he is Yusuke Otashiro. He's the coach of the national team, and his assistant is Lawrence Karis. Lawrence, let me come to you, as a coach. One of the things is that judo is a sport that is physically demanding because, there is the technique part, but you also need your body strength. You also need a lot of flexibility. Take us through the paces that you take the athletes through. And also to mention is that later we're going to be having a demonstration. Felix Okoko, Boniface, Angi, Caroline Tigei, and Grace Mailu will be joining us. Right, they'll be coming on to our set so that we can see the practical side of it and what Coach Lawrence and Coach Yusuke would want. Lawrence,
yes.
Physical fitness training for a judoka.
Physical training for a judoka.
Physical fitness training, strength and conditioning. Mtu awe na nguvu na akuwe na form kabisa.
Yeah. He has to also to eat very well. Nutrition, very important in judo. And also take his time to do a lot of physical. Also take his time on the mat. Practical daily trainings.
Aya, tupatie program on a day before you get to the mat, and you want somebody. What are the basic training, the training regime that you take them through outside of the mat, so that they are fit and ready for the sport?
As I say, first of all, you have to a good warm up, and then you start drilling the techniques.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe Kennedy, bring the back outside of the mat. Yeah. You want to come? Okay, Kennedy. The kind of training that someone must go through, endurance and strength, such that there is a balance, because this is a sport that calls for a lot of activity.
Yes. No, definitely. We have a gymnasium at our camp in Kasarani. So early morning, they go to the gym. They do a routine in the gym. They do the treadmill. They do the weightliftings to enhance their strength. And most recently, we've also introduced mind strength, mindfulness, through one of our collaborators, Professor Dr. Sheila Kalunga. And we were with her also in Casablanca, just to have a holistic approach in terms of enhancing physical, mental, and health, to have a strong unit in terms of the national team. So we're looking at all angles in terms of preparedness and enabling them.
So, Lawrence, if I come back to you, looking at it, Dr. Kalunga has been mentioned about the mental strength required for a judoka. Just tell us why, how you make sure that they do that. Because, for example, if I go and compete at the African Championship for the first time, kuna ile woga, the butterflies and all of that.
That's why I say they have to be confident. It builds confidence. A judoka has to be confident before to go to the mat. It's very important because of panicking.
How do you help a judoka? Msaidiaje judoka wako kurelax? Mchezaji wako unamsaidiaje kurelax ukiingia pale kiwanjani?
Nikupatia confidence, kumwelezea. Sikuwe na hoga. He has to remember his techniques. Yeah.
Well, and let me come to you, Yusuke-san. I read somewhere, judo, one of the things you do is use the force of your opponent at times to defeat them.
Yes.
So, when you're training the judokas, for example, Felix, Boniface, Caroline, and Grace, who will be joining us just on the set to my right here so that they can do the demo, how do you help develop the strength and skill of a judoka? For example, you have somebody who's 60, the one 64, or it's up to say 76. How do you help them develop that skill?
Yes, you said that we have to use the force of opponent. So, yeah, I'm saying them about we have to observe opponent movement, observe opponent response, and we use that response to involve our movement. It's the most important doing judo.
Okay, so Kennedy, coming to you, you've seen, previously there are those who say, look, if you train with somebody who say you are 70 kgs and you train with somebody who's 76 kg, what you do is that you may gain the power, but the person who's 76 now, but this lighter person tends to be faster. So how do you make sure that that balance happens and somebody can compete within their weight categories?
Well, I think the coaches have quite a bit to do when it comes to developing the skills. Speed is very important. So the lighter you are, the faster you can be, and that really comes in handy, especially when you're dealing with someone who is of a bigger weight category. And it even becomes worse when you do plus 100 kgs. You might be 101 kgs, and you're the same category with someone who is 120 kgs. And when you meet on the mat, you have to apply very good skills and with speed. Yes.
Okay. One of the things that we, as we get ready to see that demonstration, Coach Lawrence, let me come to you. activities that help develop the speed of a judoka. Just take us through that.
Activities for
Developing the speed of a judoka. Mtu awe na mbio ili ukipatana na mwenzako, you know how to grab, how to avoid that.
Let's just say you have to, there's a lot of trainings, physical, and then to build concentration, sharpness also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach Yusuke, just tell us about how you help develop speed fast.
Yeah, of course we need training of muscles, but we have to get a sense of how to use body, how to use arms, how to use full power immediately. So we need to practice this in the usual practice, in the technical session, a practical session, like the real fight, like the game in usual practice. So in that situation, we have to make the sense of the use full power immediately. And actually, yeah, we have to think well about the next opponent movements, and we will how to say, we feel opponent movement and feel opponent move and use my power, so we can throw opponent. So we need to get the sense of how to use opponent power, how to use our power immediately. So we have to practice in usual practice session. Yes.
Okay, now for you to have, I know there is the use of feet and hands in judo. So, do you skip rope exercises, that, for example, just to make sure that your legs are also strong and make sure that you're light on your feet? You see, in boxing, so
yes.
that they're able to move, they do a lot of skipping. Yeah. So these little things that somebody does to make sure that they're light on their feet, so that your feet, you're able to move your feet quickly.
Yes. Yeah, we also, same as boxing also, we have to use whole bodies, of course, legs also. But we define it in we call it laundry and practical session. Yeah.
Well, we'll be coming to a practical session, so it will be good as Felix, Okoko, Boniface, and Caroline and Grace, they're here and we know they're getting into their gear. Let me come to you, SG. One league event, end of January. Let's talk about the next few events that are there. And one of the things is making sure that, the numbers do make sense for you to have a real competition.
Yes, yes, we had, this is 2025 now. Our first national league was in Kajiado, where we hosted it at MTTI, sorry. And our next upcoming event is going to be the Japanese Ambassadors Cup, which is going to be held in Kasarani on the 1st of March. Whereby it's an Ambassadors Cup where the ambassador for Japan will come and award. It's normally done, we normally do it, the last time we did it, this is our third one. The last one we did was in 2019. And we have several more coming after that, because every month we ensure that we have a national league. We have Kitui, we have Kisumu, we have Siaya, we have Eldamaravine, Ukunda, Kwale. So there's every month we ensure we have, and during these national leagues, they're quite competitive. They're becoming more competitive, a minimum of 8 to 10 clubs like we saw in Kajiado over the weekend. And they're quite competitive because we are getting more of the young people getting recruited into judo. So, and it's becoming very exciting for the federation because the quality is improving. Yes.
Well, and so there you have, and that is Kennedy Withia, is the Deputy Secretary General of the Kenya Judo Federation. And one other thing that we'd like to talk about, Lawrence Karisa, when you go down there and you want to reach out to children, one of the things is people see judo as a combat sport. Si mambo na kupigana. The background is self-defense. How are you reaching out to the young people so that they can understand that judo is a sport that you can participate in and it is not meant to make you an aggressive person? Could you uwe mchokozi?
Yeah, you know, in judo, okay, you say judo gently, but we emphasize a lot in discipline. Yeah, discipline first.
Discipline first.
It's the first.
Na kuelezea watu wengine ya kwamba sasa huu mchezo ni uko sawa kwa kila mtu. How do you reach out to the parents? Because if you've got to have youngsters, then first of all the parents must believe that the sport is safe for their child. Hata umia, the moment somebody is tossed onto a mat, that they are not going to get hurt, and also the fact that with this, what they learn is not going to use to harm another child. How do you teach that? Convince parents that, because watasema huu ni mchezo wa vita.
Kweli. Kwa hivyo tunagusia safetyness of judo. We have the mats which are approved. When you fall down, you don't feel the impact. We have also the uniforms, we call it judogi in Japanese. They're also approved, so you cannot be hurt. So there is safetyness in judo. Yeah.
All right, very well. And I can see that our 4 judokas, they are here, they are ready. I know they want to get into their judogis. That is their key. And we're going to get a full demonstration as to how this works. So as they get ready for that, let me just come to you, Isuke-san, and how you now grade the judokas as they progress.
Great.
So from white belts,
yes.
The belt colors.
Yes, yeah. Say that he said it. Yes, of course. I'm a national coach, so my duty, I have to grow up them the technical parts, but not that one. If their belt OB is grading up, they have to get discipline. Not only the techniques, not only power. They have to respect opponent, respect coach, respect their partner, respect the place of us. So I also give them direction of how think, and not only physical part, like spirit and mind also. They need to grow up for grading up.
And seeing how the competitors who are there, somebody moves from, white as they move up the yellow,
yellow.
The green, the brown, and that. How do you now make sure that they can retain that belt? If they go and in a contest with somebody, say from Uganda or even Nigeria, at the same level, then you can see that this is a tough contest. Just take us through that. Such that if you have somebody who is brown belt in Kenya competing with brown belt in Nigeria, then the mismatch is not there, such that they're equal. It can be a fair contest. It can go to the distance.
How do you think?
You can translate him. Okay, how do you make sure that if somebody is a brown belt in Kenya,
yes.
if somebody from here, then they can go and compete with somebody who is same level? Yes. and you can see that there is no, they are equally balanced. How do you ensure that that is maintained and they go up?
Is you saying about the technical level?
Yeah, technical level.
But actually, if so, we don't need to teach them the high-level techniques. They have to get the basics. Only that for the most important. Without judo also same as this, but not especially judo also. We need the basic things. The how move the foot, feet, how move the arms, how move the whole body. It's so we need the basic practice. It's not practical one. It's not. They don't need the high level, another techniques, another patterns. Not that. Just at first we need to grow up basics, and because there is a ukemi. This is a how to say ukemi? Yeah, protect technique like. Yes, so inside and the head. So if they can ukemi easily well, they can easy to. They don't have to be afraid of throwing opponent also. So they have confidence of them judo. So they need to improve ukemi. It's the most basic things, but most important.
Well, let me come to you, Deputy SG. And one of the things that, for all of this to happen, because you mentioned Kitui, Siaya, you're mentioning Kitale, basically you're mentioning different counties within the country, and not just Nairobi, Mombasa, where people may see that this is where the sport has been. One of the things that you're doing to ensure that the sport develops at the grassroots level, such that if you're going to select a team of, say, the under-16s or the under-18s, you know that you can have proper national representation. Just give us, the efforts that the federation is doing to reach out there.
Well, first of all, we've been able to establish more than 24 county associations across the country, spreading all the way to Meru and the Western Nyanza, Eastern Province, Coastal Province, all the 8 provinces we have presence. That's the first thing that we were able to do, and that is actually also dictated by the Sports Act 2013. And also we have the refugee program all the way to Kakuma, which is also one of our programs to be able to ensure that we're able to also develop Judo for Peace. We're also going through Judo for Schools program, which we introduced judo through the school, primary school level. That ensures that we're able to reach to the grassroots, working with county governments, Ministry of Sports. That is something that is one of our strategic plans.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting, because I'll be coming back to those. And so right now, as you can see, our tatami is ready in the studio. That is the mat where they are. And let me just take this time to introduce our judokas. And so, as they do their demo. So let me introduce them to you. Let me start with Felix Okoko. Felix? Felix? Yes, you can just bow down, Felix. Maybe you can all face the camera, please, so that we can introduce you and they can see you. Felix Okoko. And then we've got Boniface, Caroline Sigay, and Grace Milo. So you can just introduce us. Coach.
Yes.
You will be there, you will be guiding us, so you can join them at the tatami. Yes, it's okay. Okay, don't remove it. Someone is going to come and assist you so that you can now go join them. So just taking a look at them. SG, Felix Okoko, just tell us his grade, the belt he has, so that everyone understands as here.
Yeah, Felix is 66 kg category. He also got a chance to participate in Casablanca, did a very good job. We also have Sigay and Grace Wamboi from Kidhomua Club. And we also have Boniface, who also got a chance to also participate also in Casablanca, under 55 kg. Yes. 73.
Oh,
yes.
no, that would not have been 55. No.
73. Coach has rectified me, yes.
All right. Caroline, her weight is... Caroline Sigay?
Yes,
the weight?
52.
53?
52.
And for Grace?
How about yesterday, day before yesterday?
Grace unaweza tupatia mwa Kenya ya weights?
40?
57.
57. All right. And Grace is now the newest athlete that you have.
Yeah, but the day before yesterday, she won.
She won.
In Kajiado.
In Kajiado.
Yes, she did a very good job. She won.
So, and joining them on the tatami now is Coach Lawrence Karisa. So, Coach, hapa najua utakuwa, I know you're going to be totally at home here. So, you could just take us through the simple warm-up ambayo unafanya na wachezaji wako mkianza mchezo, and then you're going to give us the basic moves that every judoka must do. So over to you, Coach Karisa. Kwako sasa.
Let's start with salutation first. Yes. So za. Ukso. Uksiamen. Shumare. Tate.
So the salutation, just take us through that, what it means, Coach Suke-san.
Yes.
What they started with.
We call it lei. We bow for the respect, the praise, respect for our teammate, and respect for the coach, and respect for all things. And we start our session. And every time start and after finish, we do lei, bowing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, Coach Karisa, tuambie, just tell us what the next part of this.
Okay, we are going to show how to break fall, how to fall down in judo. Because judo, you have to throw somebody down. So we are going to show how to fall down.
Okay.
Backward falling, ukemi. We share ukemi in Japanese. 1, 2, kiai. Okay, good. I'm going to show how to fall sideways. Higi okokemi, right hand side falling from standing. 1. Good. 2, kiai. Okay, we're going to show left hand side falling from standing. Hidari yokokemi. 1. Okay, good. We're going to show how to fall forward falling. Mae okemi in Japanese. 1. Don't roll, just roll it.
Okay, just a pause. Okay. All right. Just 1 second. Kuchisuke, we saw do a somersault.
Yes.
It's one of the ways to fall forward. Okay, so give us the different variations, Coach Karisa, the different variations of falling forward. Njia tofauti za kuanguka kama sasa na hiyo kuanguka na njia mbele.
Yeah, we said forward myokemi is falling forward.
Okay. We have seen her do a roll. That is one, while the others were going flat. The different ways, if you are going to fall forward, which are the different ways you can do that?
Yeah, you're supposed to fall. We call zepo kaiten, rolling forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to show you.
Okay, show us that.
Right hand side falling. Mawaru Kenny. Yeah. Just slowly. Good.
Good. No hard.
Yes, good. That is right hand. So, good. Seke. Okay. And then you can also roll this one. Somersault. Video game this one. Game this one. Video game. Okay. Okay, we can also.
Yes, that is,
can also
Good. So, yes. So, Coach Isuke, you like looking at it, controlling your body weight is the most important.
Yes, yes. So that is most popular warming up for judo. So that is exercise of rolling. Yeah, we roll front, back, forward, and side also. So yeah, judo is the sport of throwing opponent. So we need to control my body and the opponent body. So that sense of control my body is the most important at first. And then we have to get the sense of the control opponent body. So that practice is very important to control myself and get the sense of controlling and protect my body also. If they cannot roll easily, they cannot roll well, it is very dangerous to get injured, something like that. So that is very important for us.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go ladies first now. So, gentlemen, Felix and Boniface, you could stand aside. Carissa, you could now take us through the basic holds and throws with Grace and Caroline. So, Felix, Boniface, can stand aside for a moment.
basic. Okay. Supposed to raise. They're going to show hip techniques. Oh gosh. Major hip throw. Slowly. Okay. That is hip throw. To do hand throw. Tewaza. Ipon swenagi. That's good break for. And then Osotogari. Leg throw. Major outer ripping. That's right. Good.
So the one thing that I would like to ask is, you can counter that move. So, Coach Carissa, for the four that we have seen, how do you counter them to stop your opponent from, bringing you down, either, tossing you over the shoulder or through the hip or using the leg? How you stop that? The counter move.
Okay. This show the counters. Can get enough of counters. Counter. So that is the counter now.
Okay.
This one.
So a description of that, how that counter move works.
Yes, first of all, yes, we have to stop opponent movement. So we need to.
Okay, Yusuke-san, just a minute. Felix and Boniface, maybe you, so that you've done it at at some real speed. As Yusuke-san describes it, then you could take us step by step as to how the counter move works. So Boniface and Felix, you can do it slow motion.
Yes.
So as Yusuke-san takes us through that. Okay? Do that.
Yes. So first of all, yes, I'm said it. We have to observe opponent movement, and when the opponent use technique, we have to defend, stop opponent movement. So, Boniface, please use technique, and Felix,
So that
yes,
is it.
stop, yes. So you saw the Felix did just lower and stop opponent movement motion.
All right, so Felix, you can do it a little bit slower so that at least we can see. We know you're used to it in a fast way.
Yes.
So,
And have to be lower than opponent, then hold the opponent body and use not only arms, use whole body, his leg also, his waist also, and use the technique.
okay. Now, the other one that comes in is when it comes to the scoring, let's talk about what is known as the ippon.
Ippon. Yes.
Just give us a demonstration, as to how you pin your opponent
Ippon.
on the floor.
So point, flat back. That is flat back. It's an point, full point.
Okay. You hold them down for how long, WTSG?
It doesn't matter how long for a nippon, as long as he lies flat on his back, that's a full nippon.
It's a
So
full nippon.
the game is 4 minutes. A nippon can happen even within the first 10 seconds.
20 or 25.
Or 25 seconds of success. And we get the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a full demonstration of another ippon, Felix and Boniface.
Fully point. It is fully point.
And the call has to be made. The other scoring ways where, an ippon isn't coming.
Wazari.
Wazari.
Yes.
So the ladies can come in. Caroline and Grace, you can come in. Talk about the wazari.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. Thorough. Basically.
All right.
Yes.
So you can repeat that move so that, and Coach Lawrence,
I'm okay now. Fine. Yes.
unaweza tuelezea pia wakati wazari ikiingia na utuelezee.
Yeah, you can see it's not flat back, it's side. That is Wazari half point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So there you are. And what we are going to, so you've got the wazari, the ippon, and in the case of a tie,
So you go.
You go for the golden score.
the golden score.
Yes, yes. Yeah, golden score. Golden score means なんて言うんだ。How to say unlimited.
It's unlimited time. When you go into the golden score, past 4 minutes, they both might be having wazaris or no wazaris. After 4 minutes, it's unlimited until the first person to
score.
To score, yes. Then the game is over. Then they take the game.
Okay, so there you had it. Our demonstration judokas. Thank you very much. Felix, Boniface, Caroline, Felix and Boniface, you can come in. And at the end of every training session, anytime outside of competition, you warm down. So, Coach Lawrence,
Yes.
have your athletes warm down after this session.
Oh, can do the warm down. Sorry, warm down, please. chest, chest, body, chest.
So this kind of exercises, Yusuke-san, how they help, cool down the body and relax the muscles after this training session.
Yes, yeah, that one. The judo is full contact using whole bodies sports. So especially after practice, their muscle will be stiff. So they need to relax for body. So they have to stretch the muscles. So we do that.
Okay. Yusuke-san, he is the national team coach. Thank you, and I'd like to thank Felix Okoko, Boniface Kwangi, we've got Caroline, Sigay, and Grace. Thank you very much for being here. And as much as I'm on this seat, I will also bow. Say thank you. So I'll come back to you, Deputy SG. There are two things you mentioned. Judo for schools. And first is Judo for Peace, working with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR at Kakuma. Just tell us about this program. Because we know the refugee, because Kenya has got a strong relationship with the refugee Olympic team. Refugee athletes team, as it is known.
Yes.
Just tell us about this.
It's a program also in partnership with the International Judo Federation, in partnership with the UNHCR refugee program. It's a program that has been on for a couple of years now, but as Kenya Judo Federation, we got a chance to launch it around 2 years ago. And we already have a club that is existing in Kakuma, and we've been able to recruit quite a number of judokas from that side. And the refugee program is very good for bringing out the people who come from outside there, and expose them to opportunities globally, even when it comes to getting scholarships outside the country for education purposes, and so on and so forth.
And this is the one thing that I want to see is what's the progression for the judokas there? Can they join the refugee team at the Olympics and all of that?
Yes. They can join independently, and also they can also join under the federation. Yes.
So that means, of which in this case would be the National Olympic Committee of Kenya is the one that does the liaison
correct.
for that.
Yes, and in the International Olympics Committee also, under the guidance of the IOC.
Okay.
Yes.
Now the other one is Judo for schools.
Yes.
Because this is where everyone's talking about. There is an interesting sport that is growing, that has been growing, and there is the urge to have sports back in schools.
Yes.
What the work that you're doing with Kenya Primary School Sports Association. Now there is the Junior Secondary School Sports Association and the Senior Secondary School Sports Association.
Well, that's a very interesting topic you've brought, Bernard Wahome, because under the physical education PE, Kitambo, we used to have some of these games like karate and judo and taekwondo, and intentionally we're lobbying to see how we can reintroduce this into the curriculum, especially now that we have the CBC, which is really encouraging sports and arts as a unique way of developing talent, nurturing talent for our athletes and taking them to the next level. It's a career path, and Judo for Schools is a program still under the IJF, and we are partnering and collaborating with the Japanese embassy and the IJF and other interested stakeholders to see how we can equip the schools to be able to start clubs, because we do appreciate the fact that judo is not just any sport that you need an indoor infrastructure. You need equipment, you need the mats, you need the judogis. They don't come very cheaply. So it's only through partnerships and collaborations that we're able to see this implemented into our schools. And once we have enough schools, counties and schools being equipped then, we hope that the Ministry of Education and the councils that are responsible could be able to embrace and embed this into the school curriculum. So also as KJF, we're working on a curriculum that we'll be able to launch by this year, September, a judo curriculum that will be able to see the beginners at the primary level from even 0 to 5, because judo you can start even from
when you're a toddler.
When you're a toddler, all the way. So it is well covered for, and to see how it can be mandatory. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. He is, he's the Deputy Secretary General, Kenya Judo Federation. And also we have got Yusuke Utashiro, Yusuke-san. Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
So, yes, he's coach of the national team, and I'm sure His Excellency the Ambassador will want to see how much work you have done. You'll be proud of it, I'm sure. With, when we have the next tournament, that is the first week,
first of March,
which
yes.
is the Japanese Ambassadors Cup
yes.
at the More International Sports
at Kes Kasarani, yes, indoor arena.
And also to Lawrence Karisa, who's the assistant coach of the national team, also Felix Okoko, Boniface Mukangi, Caroline Tigay, and Grace Mailu, who have been here and giving us the demonstrations around the sport. We take our first break, and in the next hour, let's talk about running entries and why this should happen. Our sign language interpreter has been Anwangeshi. We take a short break. We'll be back.
Simfungulie huyu.
Ati?
Nimesema sifunguliwe huyu. Sasa basi nakupa ruksa. Nenda ukaishi huko.
Toroka. Rudi mafichoni, Kalume, utakuja shikwa.
Wewe usinikumbushe Sudi.
Nini mpenzi?
Wewe ukitaka kujua mtu mzima na meno 32 nitetee na mpenzi.
Kini?
Hakuna cha lakini. Nilikuwepo, sikuambiwa.
Habarisha wanakisiwa wote kwamba yeyote atakayeniletea taarifa za aliko Kalume nitampatia donge nono.
Hebu toka nje. Toa ama nikumalize. Simama. Simama hapo.
Nataka uambie hawa watu lile jambo ulikuja kusema hapa jana usiku.
Ndio at least ndio nikiona vizuri.
Hapa inaona.
Mtoto akililia wembe sharti ainame.
Hawa ni kina nani tujuane?
Huyu sasa ndio Mbuta Lukaso.
Nilikuwa na daktari hapa amenitimbu.
Daktari gani huyo?
Mukaka amenikanda na maji moto.
Nisitaka ndio mchezo. Huwezi kwenda hata pole pole.
Unataka kukaa na mimi kufanya nini hapa? Naona kiti ni ya mtu mmoja.
Wewe usinichuje hapa na pewe ni mtumwa.
Mimi ni mtumwa.
Usishikishike jaba mamako tafadhali.
Wellness is important in our daily lives so that instead of just surviving, we should be thriving.
Ways to prevent a stroke or heart attack is for you to know what conditions you have. By regular checkup, people don't know they have hypertension, they don't know they have diabetes.
I was pre-diabetic. I was afraid of getting lifestyle diseases because I come from a family that has lifestyle diseases.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
Pindi tunapowasha vifaa vyetu,
tunapata fursa ya kutangamana na wasikilizaji wetu.
Karibu sana thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ya Rwiga.
Tunapeperusha utangazaji uliobobea katika habari,
nĩ ũndũ wa macio na mangĩ maingĩ,
burudani,
ni harĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩigua nyĩmbo mwaki nyĩmbo hot,
na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma. Jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM. Shoro FM.
And welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 3rd day of February 2025, and we are having conversations around sport even as we keep up with what's happening in the news cycle. And I can just use some of the stories that we are going to be looking at today. And so, number one is there are allegations against Justice Mohamed Nur Kulo, because these are some of the things that have been presented to the Judicial Service Commission. One is delays in delivery of rulings and judgments, failure to give reasons for delay, delivering rulings and judgments without issuing notices, or incompetence. And so a draft report has been presented and on Justice Kunor. So that is one of the stories that we are looking at, and this is a tribunal that had been appointed, and the report is to be presented to His Excellency the President on the recommendation of this, so that he can give directions of this. So this has been presented. Full details will be coming through in our subsequent news bulletins. And also, we also have to remember that there are parliamentary committee sittings, and remember also that the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee is resuming sittings this week, and they are meeting with the State Department for Water. And in the afternoon, they're meeting with the Teachers Service Commission. It's all about public spending, and the Departmental Committee on Health, looking at human resources for health, a consultative meeting with the Presidential Task Force that is addressing that. And also remember that we also have got the State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications heads of department presenting their duties to the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy, the Honorable William Kafogo, and Yusuf Farah is our reporter at that event. So moving on to our next conversation, and this is all about 10 million trees and running, and not just that, you can also, I have to say, ride. Very interesting. The Lukenya University have put this together, and before I introduce my guests, let me introduce my sign language interpreter. These are Lensa or So speak now to the impact of it and how it can change from competition, from just recreational events to competition to something to do with the environment. I've got Albert Otieno, and he is with the Zoezi Maisha Running Club. He's representing clubs who are at all of these events. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Wahome.
And we also have got the race director of the Lukenya University Half Marathon, George Wasonga. And
thank you very much.
So George, umekuja na fimbo.
Hii fimbo ni ya kuonyesha kwamba mbele iko sawa. Na mbio ipo, na utunzi wa mazingira pia ipo.
Pia ipo.
Upanzi wa miti ipo.
So we know that whenever you see that, and remember also when people say mbele iko sawa, that is, hope you're not running a commercial for somebody. But this is going to be the 3rd edition of the Lukenya University.
Yes.
Half Marathon. Just give us the background. I mean, how Lukenya University said, let's have this event. And it's not just about fun, but also with the conservation in mind. And this was even before we had been set the target of 15 billion trees. The thinking behind it.
What happened is that the Lukenya University is located in a semi-arid area, and it's so expansive. The area is so expansive, and they found that during the rainy seasons, the place looked splash green, but during the dry seasons, the place became so bad that nothing would grow and life became so difficult. So the Lukenya University thought about, one, how can they conserve that environment and improve the levels of temperatures, bringing it down, and also ensuring that there'll be enough water for the residents of Kambu. And not only Kambu, because we are doing it in a spiral way, we are coming all the way to Machakos. Because Eastern is very dry. But Lukenya came to realize that with enough water,
let's just give a whole context to this so that people understand exactly where Lukenya University is. People know where the Lukenya Hills are. Daystar is better known.
Yes.
So you can see where Daystar University is even as you drive down Mombasa Road. So just give us a context as to where it is in, along the Lukenya Hills as you head towards Machakos, so that people can really understand how arid that place is.
Yeah, Lukenya University is situated in Mtutuandei, Savo East National Park. It's at a place called Kambu.
Kambu.
So you arrive at Mtutuandei, then you have to drive 28 kilometers to the university. It's the right interior.
And I'm trying to figure out that Kambu is already 1 kilometer off the highway, on the old highway.
Yes. It's far, far deep inside, 28 kilometers. And that's why the university was put up there so that it could have a positive impact on the lives of the people of Kambu and any adjacent area. And that's why we are planting more trees. We began, this is our third edition 2 years ago, and we have done a lot of grown. We just didn't plant and walk away. We made sure that the trees are growing, and right now the environment has really changed. If you look at our booklet, you'll see that and the place is now becoming very green, and we experience what we call conventional rainfall, that the rain can fall and not fall elsewhere. That's a great improvement. So what we are doing is that we are going out in a spiral manner and expanding, so that if we plant these trees and they grow, we move them. We are not only planting trees, because that place has a lot of wild animals.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we are doing, we have collaborated with the villagers, the schools, churches, the local administration, whereby we plant trees in somebody's home. It's sort of fenced, and we contract that person to take care of those trees so that the trees can grow. Yes.
So coming to you as I look at you for the recreational runners.
Yes.
Any terrain is an opportunity to go run. Looking at the past 2 editions of running in these areas, and we've also seen something speaking up is that whenever these kind of events are there, it tends to be tree planting. Just give us what the recreational runners are doing about this, because it is in these environments that you thrive.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. In Lukenya, this run will basically be a trail run, and that calls for a different technique in terms of the type of shoes you are going to use. Marathon that we do on the tarmac. Here we need kind of like a trail shoes for you to sustain that kind of run. We're just going for the run. We are going to change the environment.
Okay, just a difference. Nairobi trail running.
Yeah.
How would the
shoes that
shoes look like?
The shoes that very unique sole. How do you call it? The
treads.
The treads for you to be able to run comfortably. And the tarmac.
Kama ya 4x4 kawaida.
Yes, yes, exactly. You see the guys and the rest, the soles are thick and soft, so that it cushions them against the impact.
And flat.
Yeah, the flat surface. And so the guys running at Lukenya will have to actually come with shoes, the trail shoes that are there. If you Google properly, the shoes that are able to sustain you in such a terrain and make you run comfortably. As a representative from the running clubs, Kenya is a running nation. though we are still trying to grow this community whereby more guys like you can join the running community. For instance, if you look at in the post-COVID era, there are so many running clubs that have come up across the country. In almost every estate you see people running, they belong to a certain club. So we are looking at a scenario whereby, in as much as we are running, we need to have more people on the road so that we can also improve on our health standards. Yeah.
Looking at it, what have you seen picking up of this recreational running? What are the social benefits? I mean, I wouldn't, you haven't reached a level where we talk about the economics, but there are the social and also environmental benefits that, you know, are coming down.
I'll also add the economic, because looking at Lukenya, this is more of tourism, the sports tourism. This gives opportunity to runners across the globe to come and run inside Savo. When they come, we know what the impact it brings, the spiral effect into the hotel industry, the food, all this kind of stuff. You find that when they come, the economic impact will be felt. Social impact, you find people meet. Human beings are social beings. They come and network. Probably you are in from an industry of, let's say, environment. Somebody else is coming from the media industry. You can be able to come and share ideas and see how best you can improve the environment.
So Wasonga, let me now come to you, and looking at the first event and the number of people who came in and said, okay, well, so these people are talking about 10 million trees. That is not, I think people will be surprised that they are not as, 10 million trees is something that could be doable. But what was the first impact way back in 2023?
Yes, at first our target was 1 million. And then we teamed up with other corporates and other friends, like the First Lady's office. And in our meeting, we said, no. This is a huge thing, and 1 million trees will not be enough. And from the first run, where we got so much and planted so much, we said, okay, fine. Let us give ourselves a huge task, a bigger challenge, and go for the 10 million trees. And actually, right there, I think we are at around 2.5 million that we have already planted. And not only in Kambu, we have even gone to other schools away from Kambu, trying to change the environments in these schools. You know, there are schools where there are no trees, and the children cannot even have a place to sit under a tree, under shade, because there are no trees at all. But with trees, children can play. When they're tired, they can really easily sit under a tree and relax and recuperate.
Okay, and which are the trees that you're using? Because we know of trees that have been planted or introduced in some places and turned out to be more of a hazard to the environment and the people and the livestock than of benefit to them.
No, we are planting, first of all, in that area, you know, there are animals.
Yes.
And we are planting trees that will not attract them so much, like the acacia tree. And inside any fenced area, we are doing the fruits. You know, we are doing the mangoes, the oranges, the lemons, because we know that also by planting fruit trees, we are also providing nutrition. So we are doing that. And the only tree that we are not planting is the blue gum. Because the blue gum is a hungry tree that sucks a lot of water. And wherever it is planted, during the dry season, every plant around that tree suffers, dies automatically, because this tree is a water sucker tree that sucks a lot of water. And it can survive in dry areas for some time, because it will take water from everybody else, every tree, and keep it for itself. So we are not doing blue gum.
Very interesting. I mean, everywhere, every place I go to in the country, it doesn't matter which language you speak, they tend to call it the drinker of water.
Yes. Even in Kikuyu we say Munywa Mai.
And what would you call it, Albert?
For my village, we call it bao. Just bao.
Just
bow. Very bow.
But that trait is still known.
Yeah.
That if you take it there.
Actually, I come from a place which is a bit swampy, so we've used that trait to suck all the water in that particular area, especially the riparian area. Yeah.
Well, that's the only place you should grow it. Now, looking at it now, when attracting these athletes, when you start, or whenever you start an event, it may start with 120 people, 200 people. Last year, grew to close to 400 people. The question then is how you are able to manage the trails that people run in, because that's the other factor.
Yeah. The trails are graded. We bring graders to grade the trails and make them look nice. We look at safety. Being a national park, the university borders the national park. We also bring in wildlife rangers to come and make sure that the animals are far away. We also bring, we have vehicles that are moving up and down to ensure the safety of the athletes. We make sure that we don't have any loose soil on the trail. So what we do is that a day before, the whole place is watered and graded by the tunasema nini ile grader na bulldozer inakuja inakanyaga vizuri yatandaza, and when the guys come to run, it's almost like running on a tarmac, but it's not as hard as a tarmac is.
Okay, let me come to you, because you are the people who use this environment, the running trails most. I would think of Ngong Hills, Karura. You will find suddenly that you've decided, let's go try Longonot. Let's try some areas in the Aberdares. What are the efforts that recreational runners, even Zoezi Maisha, are doing to ensure that this environment is conserved? Because without that, I don't think you would have that. And I would also freely mention, we've seen the athletics community out in Kaptagati 10 replenishing the forests, because that's where all our marathoners train, in the forest.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. You see, I'll give you a very good example like Karura here. One of the things that they don't allow you to get into the park with is a plastic container, because it is harmful to the environment. So they ensure that as you drive in or you walk in, you don't carry that particular container that is going to affect the environment.
The single-use plastic?
Yes, the plastic, yes.
Chupa ya maji
they don't allow you, because most people take it and throw it in the forest, and it harms the trees. So that's one of the elements that I must appreciate them for doing. Then I think there's an area that we also need to look at. We are just not planting trees, we are growing trees. You can plant and neglect it there, but at Lukenya University we are looking at how we plant them and grow them. We follow up and see, okay, we planted this number of trees in these particular locations. Let us go and check how they are doing. That is one of the elements that we are doing differently from other people.
And also, we encourage people to come and adapt forests. We have a number of acreage that we have subdivided, and any corporate can come and say, okay, this is KBC forest, and we will help you grow the trees, and we will take care of the trees for you.
Can label it.
You can have your plague there, or your whatever, and that will be your forest. So people would come and say, oh, this is KBC forest with very nice, well-grown trees, both for wood and for fruits, and also medicinal plants, because we are doing like moringa, we are doing neem. Neem is morubaine. We also trying to look for these other small plants apart from trees. Did you know that we want to also try and plant mukombero there? That is medicinal, and you know what it can do.
It's appetizer.
So all those plants that are there, that is one of the things. And overall, the first thing that, for example, when you work with Karura or, some of these protected trails, you can think of Ngong Forest, the Ngong Hills Forest, and then there's the Ngong Hills
Sanctuary here.
And there's the Ngong Sanctuary,
yes.
That is just along Ngong Road.
Arboretum is also here.
There's the Arboretum. So there's Nairobi City Park as well.
Yes.
So all of these conservancies where people go and recreate. What has been the response of the people who are protecting the Kenya Forest Service, be it the Nairobi City County Government or even the Kenya Wildlife Service? What have been their responses? And what are the calls that they're making to the public?
I'll give an example like the Friends of Karura. They have a very, very active social media where they sensitize guys about, like some few months ago, few weeks ago, they've been replacing the trees, all those blue gum trees that are falling them down, planting the other trees that are able to take care of the environment very well. They keep on updating on their social media about conservancy, what you need to know about the forest, how to take care of your forest, even the security itself, because remember, one of the most insecure area for recreation is this Ngong Sanctuary, yes, because it neighbors Kibra, and there have been some incidents whereby guys have been attacked there. And of late, they've been trying to work on modalities on how they can improve on the security. So all in all, I would say that more updates on what they're doing is giving us some hope, and we believe that as we move forward, we'll be able to get a secure environment with good serenity for us to run and enjoy the environment.
So also, you know, with a good environment, athletes tend to perform very well. And that's why you find that most world records are broken in Germany. Just look at the history of records. Most of them are done in Germany.
Berlin, to be specific.
Berlin, to be specific. Why? Because after the World War and all that, they began to restore the country in terms of natural conservation. And they planted so many trees that would absorb all the carbon dioxide. Mm-hmm. So when you run in such trails, you find that there's a lot of oxygen for you, and the temperatures are lower than where there are no trees. That is why when Kenyans go to run in Berlin, you would always expect some records to fall, either the course record or the world record. Yes.
Yeah. Very interesting. The other thing that I want to come to is attracting people into, you know, running. And the one thing is, when most people try to get into this sport, you may be unfit. We know about that. I actually know, I know of recreational runners who have done all major marathons.
Yes.
You call them generals.
Yes, generals.
Yeah. Yes, they call them generals. So I know, actually, I'll shock you, I know every Kenyan who has run all the 6.
Like the David Thuos and the rest.
Yes, starting from the first one, the first one to do it.
Yeah.
Now, when you get those, when you try to pull in people into this running, kitu ya kwanza pumzi hauna. That is there. Yes. So you won't have that stamina. But how do you get people interested in running such that when they get into this event, for example, like in Kenya, you've got the 5K, 10K, half, and the full. How do you grow them?
For the last 7 years that I've been into running, I've recruited so many guys into running, and one of the things that come out so strongly is starting small. Starting small, whereby if Wahome wants to start running today, you want to do a 10-kilometer run for the first time, and you've never run before, that will be a big problem. You need guidance from people who have been there before. For instance, I say, okay, well, Wahome and George, let us start this thing slow. Today, I want to just do like 2 to 3 kilometers until where you feel you cannot move further. We'll be able to continue the following day, do a few stretches. Unlike us, when we started, when there was nothing like watch to give you the metrics on the heart rate, what have you. These days, things are different. Technology has really improved, whereby I'm able to know if Wahome ran in the morning, I'll be able to check through a particular platform. He will not be able to lie to me that he ran and he didn't run. So I'll know that Wahome did 5 kilometers. Wherever I am, wherever you are, there's a way I'm able to monitor that.
Because all you have to do is
just have a common app.
A common app?
Yes.
There. So if I decide to go around my house, you will realize there is no elevation gain.
Exactly.
Yes. No, I can run around my house.
Yes. And I know that you ran around this particular area with a flat course of 0 meter elevation gain. But again, people
in a radius of 10 meters.
There's also another element here whereby people get more attracted to medals. people just want to hang those medals in their houses. It's a good thing. It attracts more runners to come. Okay, the first thing when you're organizing a run like this one, the first question they'll ask you, kuna medal? Kuna medal. If there's a medal, automatically they go to the registration link, they register very fast, and they come for the run. The others will also ask about the virtual run. They say, okay, well, I know I can't come to Kenya and run, but can I run virtually in Karura or in Nairobi here? We said, yes, there's that option for you to run wherever you are, as long as that 1,500 that you've used to register with is going for a common cause in planting trees in the Kenya area.
Let me come to that, because virtual runs are something that are very major. Because I think after the pandemic,
Even during.
I mean, during the pandemic, that's when we had one big virtual run.
The Kipchoge one.
The Kipchoge. Yeah. Yes. There was a huge virtual run that happened.
Yeah.
And then Enschede also had that.
Yes.
All these other major marathons included virtual runs for people who would be there. And all they needed was for you to do it within a 24-hour window, depending on your time zone.
Absolutely.
What are the options for people who can't make it to Kambu? That is 30 kilometers from Mtitwandei.
The option is one, it's good for you to be at the site of the run, the main run, or the main campus. You say the main campus of running. But if you cannot make it, you can also run virtually. You pick a course, which is good, and you pay the 1,500. We send you a T-shirt and a bib number, right? So what will happen is that as you run, even if you choose to run in the evening, what we'll put in our rankings, we look at the times that you've run. Then we'll be able to log you in. So you can run from wherever you are. However, running from wherever you are alone or running two people is not good for you socially. You need to network. You need to mingle with people. You see, right now we have a lot of mental stress, physical stress. But you find that when you are in a group of people, these things tend to disappear. So it's good for you to come, to renew yourself, to rejuvenate, and refreshen your mental power and capacity. Because these are things that make people look
and network.
And when you come to work again, it's like you're born again. You are refreshed, rejuvenated. Yes.
Okay. And now, let me come now to the running trail that you create. So, 42 kilometer, you've got the full marathon, the half marathon, the 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers. One of the things is the AIMS, the global body that oversees marathons for World Athletics. One of the things they do take a look at is the surface.
Yes.
Now, this is a trail running. So how does AK come in and classify you as a legit event?
Actually, in the past two events, AK has come on board and they have inspected the course, and they gave us a thumbs up. But still, even this time, they'll come again and inspect the trail, because things change. They must come there. They have their main inspector doing quality assurance. He'll come down there, drive through the 42, look at the surface, test the surface, and he's going to tell us whether we have met the conditions or we need to improve. He'll also take the measurement of the distance and see whether it is 42, or it's more than 42, or it's less than 42. He'll also check on whether is it too hilly, or is this just a flat course. Then they'll advise on what to be done. But for the fun runners, we'll also have another course for 5 kilometers for the fun runners. And they'll have their own course. And also, we are bringing in a major thing, the Black Mamba race.
We'll be coming to that, because we're very interested in that. Out there, they call it Kasululu. So we'll find out how they're going to do the Black Mamba race and get interested in it. But right now, let's move over to an event where a group of women from Dagoretti North, led by the Women Peace Caravan Chair, Nairobi County, Mary Jukuna, are addressing the media as they have come out to defend the Honorable Chief Justice Martha Koome.
Pengine atawekwa hata endeleza kazi sawa ama anaweza fanya kazi tu bado.
Siku zake zikiisha, akimaliza wakati wake atatoka.
Na huwezi kutoa mtu bila sababu ati ndio ulete mwingine. Kwa sababu yeye ni makosa gani amefanya. Kwa hivyo yeye aendeleshe kazi yake. Kama kuna ile miaka wanakaanga hapo akikaa akimaliza si wataleta mwingine. Lakini kwa sasa yeye ni yeye tu akae hapo.
Wewe utaanza yako kwanza tena na uchukue ya Kikuyu.
Acha pige kameme alafu utakupa.
Oh, sawa basi. Piga kameme.
So that is group of women, a group of women in Dagoretti North, led by Women Peace Governor Nairobi County Chair Mary Njuguna, who have come out in defense of the Honorable Chief Justice Martha Koome. And still, the story that we are following is that President William Ruto has received the report of the tribunal investigating Justice Mohamed Nur Kolo at State House, Nairobi. And the tribunal, which was chaired by Court of Appeal Judge Patrick Kege, dismissed all allegations against Justice Kolo and recommended his reinstatement to the Environment and Lands Court. So some stories that we are keeping tabs on today. Well, let's get back to our conversation. It's about the Lukenya University Marathon taking place in March, and not just an interesting event, 2 wheels, the Black Mamba race. Wasonga, you're the race director. Just tell us about this.
Now, we discovered that around that area, the main mode of transport is Kasululu, or Black Mamba.
The Black Mamba.
And
not border border.
Not border border. And fun enough is that most riders are women. Like when they're going for water, they ride. To the market, because our market is like 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers away, they ride. So we thought about it, said, what if we brought in a category for Black Mamba racing for both men and women? Would it bring an impact? And the response was so huge, and it became so more attractive than even the main running, the main marathon. People were so excited to see women in their skirts with a simple bib on their chest doing 42 kilometers within very impressive times. So we said, okay, fine. Now we are going to introduce a prize. And we are doing a prize for the local, for the Black Mamba, which we are also going to have men and women and school-going children. Now, for the first winner, we'll give 15,000 shillings on it for the win. Then we'll give 10, then 7.5, all the way to number 10, which will be giving 2,000 shillings. So number 1, you have your 15,000, right? And we are also giving scholarship, 2 scholarships every year. There could be someone who's right and he's into education, but maybe he's going through some difficulties. Lukenya University will give 2 scholarships every year, full scholarships every year.
For somebody who's deserving and also athletic.
Yes.
So the other thing is, then how do you organize these races such that, I think about 10 years back, just under 10 years back, there was an infamous case at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Somebody called Njogu, decided that he can take a bronze medal. But there are ways of checking. You know, when you run, there is something white that...
The salt that...
This saline, whatever, that salt that forms behind your ears.
Yes.
So he didn't have any of that. So that couldn't be done. How do you ensure that if someone enters for the 21, they stick to it? If somebody goes for the full marathon, they cover the full distance, and for the 5 and 10Ks?
We are having electronic bibs.
With chips,
chips. Electronic bibs with electronic chips. And as you leave the start point, it records. Every checkpoint, to record. As you finish, it records. So if you come
from the forest,
let's say you are hiding somewhere in the forest, and you are timing so good that the moment you see the first person coming, you just come out and really sprint to the finish line, thinking that you'll be a winner of the 200,000 shillings. The system will check you out, and there'll be problems for you. We know these things happen. I saw that case you're talking about, and it was so bad. The guy thought that he could
beat the system.
Beat the system. But we have a very good system that is security proof. We have brought in people. We also have what we call drones. We'll be having drones. We'll be having live cameras moving. And maybe KBC could come on board. We'll see about that.
That's a very strong pitch that you have made.
Yes.
But also, I also know, because it's trail running, you can also look at how much dust you have on your, on your legs.
Yeah.
So, now coming to this, for people who would like to go to such an area and run, because you run in different surfaces. I know recreational runners can decide, one day they decide they're waking up and go all the way to Narumoru and say, which is the shortcut to Nyeri town? And they cut. We know what...
it's actually a whole...
So how do you
how
people adapt to different terrains?
Of course, people are running from different... The altitude, for instance, there are people who... Like Nairobi itself, someone training in Ngong, you cannot compare with someone training in Syokimau or probably at the river because of the altitude. So you find that the person training in Ngong has a higher advantage than the guy in Ngong, even if they're doing the same program.
Yes.
Because of the altitude, the red blood cell and what have you. So in such a scenario, I'll talk from the perspective of recreational runners. You know, sisi watu wa recreational runners, sisi nakuanga watu wa roho juu. As long as there's a run somewhere, we will go, regardless of how fit I am or whatever it is. I think it's kind of a cult that is brewing slowly into this country, which is a good thing, because if it is something that is going to help you mentally, physically, then we are good to go. So we always say, kufa makanga, kufa driver. They do it. They come, they run. Whether they have trained, there are even some cases where guys come while limping. I don't know, for fear of missing out, but that is the recreational runner for you, as you said earlier.
FOMO.
Yeah, they love it so much. As long as there is medal and they're going to have fun and what have you, they will come in large numbers, as long as it favors their schedule.
And you see also, laziness brews indiscipline. In places whereby you don't have any structured physical activity, these are the areas where you find that kama an environment akwa chafu, ulevi ni mwingi, there is crime. But where people are engaged in organized physical activity like running, a good example is Rwanda. Go to Rwanda. Every Saturday?
There is a cleaning day, there is a no vehicle day.
Yes, there's a no vehicle day, everybody's walking, everybody's running, and they have so many running groups. And you go to Rwanda, even into the small towns, estates, they are very clean. I go there every time, and I ask myself, what is the secret? And I was told the secret is making sure that people are physically fit and mentally fit. Because when you're physically fit and mentally fit, you relax and you begin to be aware of your environment, and you begin to think of how good can your environment be. That's why you see that cleanness and all that stuff. So that's why people must come into organized activity, especially running. And even in other sports, we are told, like in Taekwondo, where I'm the Secretary General, we are told every athlete must run all the time. You must run all the time. Because as you run, different body muscle groups are worked. Running works the entire body.
Yes.
As opposed to, like, if I go for weightlifting in the gym, the muscles are targeted, they're specific. But as you run, you tackle every muscle group in the body, and which is very good.
Now, the other thing is the incorporating of the brand ambassadors. I know Patrick Makau was one of your brand ambassadors. Yes. He's a former world record holder. He now coaches the national half marathon team. And what's the message that he has, that he's giving out to attract people? Because he's got one advantage. He can actually speak to the people in their language.
Yes.
Down there.
We picked Patrick Makau because, one, he's a son of Ukambani. This event is being run in Ukambani. And apart from recreational running, we are also out there to identify talent. There are young school boys and girls who would like to bring into running. And who is their role model? That should be Makau, because Makau is from there. So if Makau made it, they can also make it. And we want to bring them all on board. That's why we also have a schools, local secondary schools category in 10 kilometers.
Yes.
Both male and female. And we are paying 10,000 shillings for the first pass for number 1, 7,500 for number 2, 5,000 for number 3. That way, all the way to number 10 will get 2,000 shillings. Now, if a school-going child gets 10,000 shillings, and we have discovered that talent, then there will be a follow-up. We'll nurture that talent. The first edition.
So who receives this money? Because you canvassing a contract with a minor is actually something that people.
Yes, actually, the people who receive money for the primary school, anybody under 18, their parents come and receive the money
on their behalf.
We also give scholarships for these kids. Like the first edition, we gave full scholarship to a girl who was going to Form 1. So her fees was paid all the way to Form 4. So that's something that should also bring other children to come and run. We also bought shoes. The university bought shoes. Because there are those who came running, because they want to run. Some ran barefoot, some ran with in very bad shoes, plastic shoes. One of them came in Crocs. That showed something different, determination. So immediately we made arrangements and we bought shoes and gave shoes to these runners so that they can keep on running.
Okay. Well, so gearing up for this, I know the official launch is going to be tomorrow. But
on Wednesday 4th.
Yeah, Wednesday 4th.
4th
is tomorrow.
4th is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah, it's tomorrow, yes.
Okay, so looking at building up to the 23rd, any other activities around that, such that, if I am not able to be there on the 23rd,
right,
because maybe somebody wants to go watch the safari rally for one reason or another, what's the contribution they can make to the community and to the environment?
If you can't make it to come to run, you can still support the cost by paying your registration fees of 1,500. But also we have
more people.
You can partner with the marathon on the university, and we have categories of partnership. Like we have the diamond. The diamond, if you pay 2 million shillings, you will have a lot of things going on. Granted to you, and you like branding, route markers. You'll have them there. At the corporate village, you will have you at the VVIP. Then you can have platinum. Platinum is 1 million. Then gold is 500,000. Then silver is 250. Bronze is 100,000. All the way to 1,000 shillings. Whereby, if you give us 5,000, we'll give you a certificate of appreciation to show that you really took part, you really contributed. So,
but you can also sponsor runners who cannot be able to sponsor themselves. That's an initiative that you can be able to go a long way with us.
Last year we had our KDF soldiers who came bus full. That was a blessing, and we also called them again to come and give our people a good challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
They will be there. How does infect everyone with a running bag? Infect everyone with a running bag. Your recreational runners, you want to infect everyone so that everyone joins your running community.
We have every weekend we have group runs, and we share all this schedule or calendar on the social media. If you want to run with us, maybe like this weekend, you're organizing a run for those who are going to Kilimanjaro end of this month. You can join us somewhere around Naivasha Road. There are so many of them happening, different runs. There are some that are being organized in Karen, I think, on 15th. So we are trying as much as possible to bring more people on board and have a running country in terms of recreation running.
And also, you need to start slowly. You can even start, it's a bit difficult to just start running long distance. Do 2 kilometers. Pole mdogo na utakuwa, the bag will be new.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. George Wasonga is the race director at the Lukenya University Marathon, and Albert Chiro who's representing, the recreational athletes through the Zoezi Maisha Running Club. And thank you for being with us this morning. The judo demonstration that we had today as they build up to the year. And also, remember, run, and when you get the moment, plant a tree wherever you are. My sign language interpreter has been Lensa Odingo. On behalf of the team that put this program together, we want to say asante sana for being with us. Kasichana Masha is coming up next with Kurunzi Mashinani, followed by an interview program Tamrini. Have a good day. My name is Daniel Wahome.
Oil palm, a crop indigenous to West and Central Africa, has seen significant production across the region. Approximately 70% of the production comes from smallholders in about 22 producing countries on the continent. Sustainability of palm oil has been a key focus in the global market and increasingly across local markets. Contributing to sustainability in oil palm production in Ghana is the Golden Star Oil Palm Plantation, GSOP, established in 2006 as a non-profit subsidiary of Golden Star Resources. The Golden Star Oil Palm Farmers Association achieved an extraordinary milestone in their journey towards sustainable palm oil production. They became the first smallholder group to attain RSPO certification in Ghana and the second in all of Africa. This achievement signifies the commitment and dedication of the smallholder farmers supported by the Golden Star Oil Palm Plantation, GSOP. GSOP was established through a collaborative effort involving traditional authorities, landowners, and other stakeholders with the aim of producing oil palm in catchment communities using the smallholder concept.
The certification of the GSOP group has been a key indicator that with the required support, smallholders are able to get certified and smallholders are able to adopt and implement sustainable practices. The Golden Star Oil Palm Farmers Association was the very first group to be certified in Ghana and the second in Africa. And quite importantly, what that has communicated is the fact that with the necessary support, smallholders are willing and able to get certified. Given that smallholders are key stakeholders within the palm oil supply chain in Africa, this is important because it tells us that we are unable to achieve sustainable palm oil without smallholder inclusion.
The adoption of sustainable practices has played a crucial role in enhancing the farmers' yields and overall productivity. Their yields have increased to an impressive 18 tons per hectare, which is 3 times the national average for smallholder farmers. Despite their achievements, the Golden Star Oil Palm Farmers Association faced several challenges in their journey towards certification.
In the Ghanaian context, smallholders are faced with a number of challenges, quite similar to other producing countries in the region. Access to finance is a key challenge, which means that they are unable to access good planting materials, nor the access to inputs. This also affects their ability to implement best management practices on their plantations. So aside the fact that in some cases, smallholders do not have the knowledge on best management practices, in some instances where they have indeed received the trainings, they are still unable to implement it on their plantations because they do not have the financing to cover the costs related to maintaining their farm according to these best management practices. This is also why the GSOP model is very unique in that it has taken away the challenges the smallholders face and it has professionalized the process when it comes to implementation of best management practices, and smallholders within the group are able to have these practices implemented on their plantations.
In their journey towards certification, GISOP, with assistance from UNIDO and Solidaridad, provided significant support to the smallholder farmers. GISOP, with its partnership arrangement with Bento Oil Palm Plantation, Bob, ensured that most of the food from their farms was directed to Bob. This solved one big challenge: access to markets. This partnership also provided agriculture extension services, farm input and technical support to the farmers. As a result, a memorandum of understanding was signed in 2006 between GISOP, traditional leaders, other stakeholders, and Bob.
Well, for Bob, smallholder is very important stakeholder in our model here. One, because we are interested in improving the livelihood of farmers within our catchment areas. So by providing a market for the smallholders, we know that we are pumping money back into the communities.
According to the terms of the MOU, Bob extended technical and advisory support to GISOP to facilitate the effective implementation of the partnership. Additionally, Bob has been purchasing the fresh food